On the last episode of the Order of the Sillies, we had a lot of fun with the Morgau and his outrageous claims about the vacuum of space. It's a good thing in space no one can hear your brain farts. Now of course, he was judged to become a jester in the Order of the Sillies for good measure. However, starting today, which is the 1st of May 2020, I'm gonna try something new. I want you to help me judge the Sillies I find. Now as you Spiffies know very well, I'm all about interactivity of my content. So here's what we'll do. You can leave any kind of comment as usual, and if you want to participate in the voting, throw in either hashtag jester to sentence or hashtag silly to discard them. This voting will last for a few days after the video is published, and I'll tally up the results in the next video's intro. And to add to that, I'll also start featuring a few of the top comments from the previous video. And you know what? Let's have a go at that right now. Now, the first comment was by Feel Jesus in You. Oh boy, that's, phrasing. These people are not really good with phrasing. Let's see what kind of voice I'm gonna use. Feel Jesus in ya. You need to read Leviticus and Ephesians. We live in flat earth. We live in God, and Jesus can be felt within us. More phrasing issues? You probably recognize me as I am a debater of the quantum physics of the flat quantum physics proves a flat earth. Yeah, you really seem like some kind of debating man who uses really strange words and also has problems with phrasing there. Feel Jesus in you. On to the next comment by Space Ghost 4K. Morgau is high most of the time. No one is listening to him. Well, I sure as hell hope not. Then we have the ever elusive fuck you. Morgau's beard is as twisted as his mind. Yeah, someone actually said his beard looked like a space comma. So, with that out of the way, let's have a look at Jesse Lee Peterson, who for some reason actually has people hanging on his every word. And here I am, just wondering why I was having a bit of an issue figuring out this man. I have never seen or heard someone who, for all intents and purposes, is nothing more than a soundbite dispenser. The man doesn't do conversations, the man just makes noise.
Amazing! Beta!
Amazing.
That's amazing! Amazing! Beta! Amazing! Beta! That's amazing! Beta!
Okay.
Amazing!
Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty amazing, right?
Yes, I really had to do that. This is what Jesse is known for, just randomly yelling, Beta! Amazing! Whenever he gets cornered, and this man has somehow made the impossible possible by being perpetually cornered.
Oh! I rest my case.
Yeah, and this is also something he does. He then somehow doesn't make a point and then he rests his case. So Professor Dave here was having a lot of fun during the debate on modern day debate, but holy hell, it was something to behold. And I think Professor Dave said it best.
Stop being a beta!
Get some data!
But wait, it didn't stop there. He also made this comment.
Since you're an intellectual, and I understand that intellectual people have no logic, and I believe it.
Intellectual people have no logic.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Have you noticed that?
No, Jesse, no one has noticed that.
No, Barack Obama.
I know who Barack Obama is, yes. So anyone who has heard of Barack Obama is a beta male?
Oh, have you heard of his
So
wife?
all people are beta males?
So yeah, as you might have noticed, Jesse works from a script, and he doesn't deviate from that script. Sometimes he adds new things, but it's basically the same thing in a different package.
Yeah, because you're a beta male. You're addicted to mama.
So I can hear you thinking, I'm taking him out of context, but that's literally impossible with Jesse here. You can basically turn him into a soundboard, and anything you say, you can counter with all the things he just said. That's basically how this man has a conversation, if you can call it that.
I supported Bernie and I did not support Hillary.
I rest my case. You're a socialist, and that's why you hate the president.
Hey, what's socialism?
We have to. So sorry,
What's
gentlemen. I
socialism?
hate to do this, but just to get through as many questions as
I
we
would
can.
love to demonstrate that Jesse does not know what socialism is, but let's go to the next question.
Yes, and I would have loved for him to answer the question as well of what is socialism. But James, of course, had to intervene because they were doing the outro of the debate, reading the super chats, and it has to have some kind of pacing. However, let's listen to the first attempt of Dave asking Jesse to define socialism.
Dave, you are a real intellectual and a socialist.
I want to give Dave.
What is socialism? In a sentence, what is socialism, Jesse? Can you tell me?
Dave?
You can even Google it if you want.
I said Dave.
Yes, I can't fault Professor Dave here. I mean, seriously, it also went past me. It's like, what is socialism? And he says, Dave. Yeah.
one. Tioga, thanks for your super chat, who said the only beta here is James, obviously. She's sassy. That's why we like her.
Got him. However, Jesse was not off the hook because eventually there was a super chat asking Jesse to explain what socialism is. And oh boy, it was glorious what he came up with.
Jesse, will you define socialism? Lily Rowe.
Thank you.
The liberal media, the Democratic Party, the Rhino Republicans, the Never Trumper, Dave.
It's a form of government, Jesse.
That
define it in the context of a form of government.
People that want to take over your life and control you for power and wealth.
Gotcha.
So
Next,
you don't know what socialism is? Thanks for demonstrating
I want to give
that.
him.
It's actually too ironic how Jesse always talks about anything he thinks he knows something about when he demonstrably hasn't a clue about it. So he could have simply said that socialism is a form of governing where everything in society will be decided by the community in general, and he would have been right on the money. Instead, he... well, you heard what he said. Wait, what? Why? Oh, fair enough, it's Jesse talking.
Our dear friend Fred said Jesse sees complicated subjects in black and white when there are many more shades of gray.
No gray area. It's only black or white. It's only right or wrong. It's no gray area at all. Is it right or is it wrong? No middle ground.
Gotcha. Thanks so much.
That's wrong.
Ah, and oh boy is it wrong. Thanks, Dave. But I mean, for Jesse to be able to have his cake and eat it, he demands that everything is a pure dichotomy, so he can corner people. He tends to go on about, I want simple answers on very complex subjects, which is, well, not a thing. That's not a thing, Jesse. I mean, life is a lot more complex, and not everything is right or wrong. There's nuances to life, Jesse. I've been told it's about 50 shades thick.
I don't tell you what to say. You can say whatever you want.
Why
don't you say data?
Next one up.
Data!
See, at this point, I mean, if you look at this expression on Jesse's face there, it's clear he's either trolling or he's trolling, isn't he? I mean, it's really easy to trigger this man to say beta. And yeah, it's really interesting that he also says anything without data. Now, it was a rather interesting debate. No, it's not. It wasn't a debate. It was just a conversation between a man who wants to have a conversation and a slippery man who is mostly using his script and not actually engaging in said conversation. You know, Jesse, if you want to play, you actually have to join the game instead of doing the 100-meter dash away from it. Beta male.
Beta?
Uh-huh.
That's amazing.
I know.
Oh, I rest my case.
Yeah, it's quite. Anyway, if you want to see this entire debate, or conversation, if you will, I'll link it up in the description.
So anyway, about my lady, I was wondering, and I know what you say about this, having children and everything, but she has a child from rape.
From who?
And from rape, being raped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, the child is 8. We've been together since she was 3. And I was wondering, I mean, we got together when I was fallen, you know what I mean, in that fallen state.
Right.
And I was wondering if it's right for me to, if I do everything the right way and show her the right way to live without anger and all that other, mess, would it be okay to marry her even though she has a child?
Absolutely no.
Yes, I wanted to give you guys the full context of what Jesse just said. And we can all laugh at silly old Jesse here, but what he does next here is, oh my god, it's disgusting. It truly is.
No. I knew it. I knew you'd say that.
No, do not marry a woman, and a woman should not marry a man who already have children. It's bad enough on kids when they don't have both parents. It's worse when a so-called step-parent steps in, and because the soul of that child, whether male or female, the soul yearns for the father, not a stepfather or stepmother.
Yeah, you heard it here correctly. This Jesse Lee Peterson literally said this child yearns for the soul of their father, which just happens to be a fucking rapist. There is a difference between a father and a dad. Anyone can be a father, but it takes balls to actually be a dad. But don't you worry, Jesse's gonna take it up a notch even further.
They want their natural father and natural mother, and especially their natural father. And so if this woman is a decent woman at all...
Yes, I kid you not, he is gonna take it there. He is gonna take it there.
She was sacrificed for her child, not for herself, but for her child. And you're going to be in the way, and you did it in the fallen state, but at least you're waking up before you got married to her and just help to destroy that child. So no, don't do it. Seek first the kingdom of God and his right way, and God will add a woman unto you. The right woman. This is not the right woman for you.
So we've got a rape victim here who had a child from their rapist, and this man found her, and now he is basically the dad since she was 3 years old. And Jesse here, with his completely broken mind, gives the advice, relationship advice from Jesse, people. He gives the advice to abandon her and the kid, basically destroying their lives. And he says so with a straight face. I want you to understand, this man has an issue, right? And Jesse Lee Peterson is giving advice to someone who is in trouble. Just think about that for a moment. He doesn't actually think about the situation because he's completely not self-aware and just starts to spout off his script, his narrative, because Jesse doesn't deviate from it. This is a textbook case of how dangerous these kinds of people are to people who are in trouble and need some advice.
Amazing.
Yes, it is amazing, but for all the wrong reasons. And that little chuckle there says enough about Jesse Lee Peterson.
That's heartbreaking, but that is amazing.
Yeah. And you're going to be so grateful later as you move through life that you're finally doing the right thing. You're living. You have faith, and you are a son of God. You're what you say, and you live that way. You will not regret this. But if you marry her, you will regret it.
Yes, by destroying 3 lives. You will not regret destroying 3 lives. Your own life as well, because I can hear it in his voice. He loves this kid. He loves this woman. Yet here he is asking advice from a reverend who is bound to his script, his narrative. Unable to actually join the conversation, like I said before. He is not part of this conversation. He's just giving advice, and oh my, it's so flawed. Not to mention the man calling in is also bound to his script and his narrative called religion. I'm pretty sure about that. And that's why he is staring down this crossroads. I sincerely hope this guy didn't actually take Jesse Lee Peterson's advice because, oh my.
Yeah, I understand. Wow, that's amazing. Well,
and then
that's amazing. So, I did have another question for you though.
Okay.
What should I instruct or even suggest to the daughter? She's a girl. She's 8 years old. She calls me dad here and there, but it's like I know that I'm not her biological father. Like, I want to be her father, but I'm never going to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what would I instruct? Say if
let her know. Let her know.
We do our own separate.
Let her know that you're not her father, and that you apologize for getting involved with her mother, and that for her not to be angry and to love her father, her real father.
All right. I just can't. This guy just literally said, this little kid needs to love her biological father, who's a rapist. What the fuck is wrong with you, mate? Jesse, what the hell is wrong with you, mate? Please tell me you're not that stupid. And yeah, we like to have fun here, right? But holy hell, this guy just grinds my gears. However, to actually end on a positive note here, I advise everyone to type into the YouTube search bar, kid asked dad or mom to adopt them. You're gonna see some amazing videos. Amazing videos. Peterson. To all you assholes who actually follow this guy religiously, hang on his every words. A sincere fuck you to you too. I hope someday you better your life there, Jesse Lee Peterson. You better! Well, that's about all this silly has to offer. So what do you reckon? Does Jesse Lee Peterson have what it takes to become a jester in the Order of the Sillies? Make sure to leave a comment with either the hashtag jester to sentence or hashtag silly to discard this one back into the wild for not being good enough. And I'll tally up the votes in the next Order of the Sillies. Also, if you have any suggestions for sillies, I'm keeping my eye on the hashtag Oots on Twitter, which you can use to link me up with a video, and I'll have a look if I can work with it. Even better, if the silly has a Twitter, you might want to tag him so they know I'm coming for them. And on that note, remember to tickle the bell and all buttons around it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. Huh. This man keeps going on about beta when I'm pretty sure he crashed during alpha testing.